Commander Shepard, I understand you are bringing a new fleet into this war.
Yes, Counselor. 2, in fact.
I've read the reports. I can't believe you convinced both sides to stand down.
We did indeed.
I had a lot of help.
We're still facing isolated pockets of Geth. They appear to be Geth bodies loaded with Reaper code. But they're a minor threat relative to the full Geth fleet. Regardless, Commander, you've given us the first reason to hope in this war. Speaking of which, I have information for you vital to the war effort. I'd prefer to share it in person.
What if I come to the Citadel?
That would be preferable, Commander. Meet me in Counselor Udina's office.
Oh, we still going there? Is that still a thing? I don't know about that.
Admiral Hackett's available on Vidcom.
Okay. So we get a lot of credits, and of course, the mission complete. We'll definitely want to take a look at our war assets after that, because as we were saying, we just added 2 fleets, the Quarian and the Geth, to the war effort. But Hackett is here and is available, so let's check in with him real quick.
Commander, something on your mind?
Well, let's see. How are we doing here with our galactic readiness right now?
What's our state of readiness, Admiral?
We're getting there. And with the Reapers pressing their advantage across all fronts, we don't have a lot of time to catch up.
Okay. We're making noticeable progress. What's the state of our allied forces?
What about the extra help we've picked up along the way?
Bringing in both the Quarians and the Geth has helped us immeasurably. The Quarian fleet is providing evac and fire support, while the Geth attack Reaper supply lines.
Okay. What about the Asari and Solarians, though? We've not gotten much support from them. Certainly not the Solarians yet.
How about the Asari and Solarians?
Since the coup attempt, the Asari have stepped up to the plate. They're committing fleets and sending a science team to work on the Crucible.
The Solarians, though? We haven't seen much from them outside of pretty much just Kirhi and Kirhi alone, right?
And the Solarians?
They sent the entire fleet as a thank you for rescuing their counselor. Plus, she seems to like you for getting her that job that got us the STG task force. I guess they managed to overlook the genophage cure.
Okay. Well, that's good to hear. Then the Krogan and the Turians, of course, the Turians had said they'd only help us once we got the Krogan to help them. We got the Krogan, so how are they doing?
What about the Turians and Krogan?
The Krogan and Turians have obviously been a big help. Erdnot Rex running the show is a bonus for us. And that female Krogan you rescued is rallying more support from the other clans.
That's also good to hear. We did try to get a little bit of support from the Rachni. I do wonder how that's going.
What about the Rachni?
I wouldn't have believed it, but the Rachni are helping us build the Crucible.
You're kidding.
Turns out they have a knack for weapons of mass destruction.
Oh.
In hindsight, I guess they'd know a thing or two about waging a galactic war.
No problems with them then?
Other than scaring the hell out of our engineers, no. Not a lot of small talk going on there.
How do you even communicate with the Rachni? I don't know. But, okay, what about the Reapers? What is the current state of their attack?
What's the Reaper situation?
It's not trending well, even if you did buy Radix some time. Our threat projections show the Reapers will gain the advantage on most other fronts. And now the Asari are a prime target. They're the most advanced race in the galaxy. We'll soon find out if that means anything.
Yikes. Okay, so it seemed as though the Asari had been spared for quite some time there, where the Batarians got hit first, then the humans and the Turians soon thereafter, followed by, what, probably the Krogan, and then, yeah, you know, Renok did have a Reaper on it, to be fair. I was going to say it was primarily that the Quarians were fighting the Geth, but no, the reason why the Geth were fighting the Quarians in large part was because there was a Reaper there that was convincing the Geth to fight the Quarians. So that was also, at least partially, Reaper-based as well, that threat. But yeah, the Asari had been largely unscathed until now, but it sounds like Thessia is next on the Reaper's list. So then, I mean, why are we the ones that are helping you run the show here when, I mean, think about all the things that Hackett has been counting on us to get done.
If I may, Admiral, I have a personal question.
Speak freely, Commander.
Why me? Why put me in charge of all this?
Because you're the only son of a bitch I've got who knows how to kill Reapers.
I mean, that's one way to phrase it, but, I mean, anyone theoretically can. Yes, we did kind of sort of just kill a Reaper mere moments ago.
You just have to be smart and hope you get lucky. Anyone can figure it out.
Your dossier says otherwise, Shepard. You stopped the Batarian slavers on Elysium all those years ago. What you did, the people who survived that ordeal still thank you by name.
That was a long time ago. That's our background. Our character background. That was before Mass Effect 1 even.
And because of that, you think I qualify to save the galaxy?
Shepard, let me tell you something that I've learned the hard way. You can pay a soldier to fire a gun, you can pay him to charge the enemy and take a hill, but you can't pay him to believe.
I don't follow, sir.
When you went up against Sovereign, there was no good reason to believe you'd win. But your crew didn't seem to care, they went along anyway. Your trip through the Omega-4 relay? That was a suicide mission if there ever was one. Yet there your crew was, standing beside you, proud to serve. Why? Because they believed in you, their leader. That's what I need now. Where we're taking them is liable to get pretty hairy, and I know you're the one who will get us to the other side.
That right there is some pretty encouraging words. Lofty praise coming from Hackett. And that seems to be the last of the things we can discuss with him.
Nothing more, sir.
And Shepard, I thought you might like to know I've got word on your mother.
Oh.
Oh?
She's alive and well and promoted to Rear Admiral. She's helping us plan logistics for the Crucible.
Thank you, sir. That's a relief to hear.
I figured having another Shepard around couldn't hurt, and she's damn proud of what you're doing out there. Hack it out.
Glad to hear it. Alright. Deliver most of the war assets. We got an achievement for that. Let's take a look. Speaking of those war assets, for aliens, we may have some new stuffs here. Remember, we did some scanning before we went out on this this main quest mission to Rannoch, and so some of this stuff may not necessarily be in direct response to that most recent mission. Citadel Defense Force has been updated, though. Let's see if we can figure out what thing it was that we did in this case, because we have lots of little updates here. I think it was... 2 seconds focusing on smaller crimes and misdemeanors. This has spread the forces thin, decreasing efficiency. Oh, that was a mistake. But, Geth jamming frequencies upgraded the Citadel's automated defense systems. That's new. Schematics of advanced biotic amplifiers. No, that's from a while ago. It's mostly the Geth info. Whoa! Batarian dude who's very enthusiastic. The governor of the Batarian colony, Kamala. Right, we just found a random Batarian governor on a planet. It's kind of weird. Was outspoken in the early hours of the Reaper assault, blaming the Alliance for the destruction of Batarian comm buoys that were, in fact, destroyed by the Reapers. Now liberated from his world, the governor has undergone a dramatic conversion. His daily extranet videos rally his formerly conservative, xenophobic subjects to embrace the Citadel species as brothers and sisters in arms. Unlike many Batarian politicians, he also avoids micromanaging military affairs, content with inspirational tasks and the logistical nightmare of providing urgently needed relief to Batarian refugees. Okay, so there's the governor. And we have Void Devil's fighter wing, which is something that we got from scanning in the Vorcha home system. You can see little Vorcha face on the ship. That is amazing. The Void Devils are a recent military creation consisting of Vorcha fighter pilots trained by human and Turian mentors. Uh-oh. That sounds very dangerous. Though uniformly young by other species standards, the Devils have laser-like focus on the task of taking out enemy ships. Courageous in the extreme, they are also notably disciplined for Vorcha. Okay, that's a little bit, marginally more comforting. During the invasion of their homeworld, the Devils fought hard but ultimately obeyed the orders to retreat while the wing was still intact, leaving them alive but burning for revenge. Okay, sounds like that means they could certainly be of use to us. Then Vorcha Labor Team. I love the goggles. I love them. These socialized Vorcha were a maintenance and calibration crew on a small scientific outpost orbiting Tyrix. Such skilled labor is rare among Vorcha, but not unheard of, since Vorts are trained by other species for precision tasks to develop finely tuned nerves and senses. Additionally, this crew can heal cellular damage caused by radiation exposure, which is useful since the Crucible is being built where no planet's magnetosphere protects it, and extravehicular activity on its hull is often required. That picture, man. I love it. I love it. Then liquid assets. This we got in the, the Ilium area? And I was wondering, like, is it literally water? Or do we mean liquid like cash? And it looks like it's probably cash, which makes more sense. No war can be fought without a bankroll, and the corporate mavens of Ilium know it. Having escaped the invasion, a so-called Gang of Five is leveraging their staggering financial power to acquire the best talent and materials for the Prothean device. They are doing so in necessary ignorance, believing they are hiring and acquiring parts for a new kind of fusion plant, as the device's existence is a tightly guarded secret. Okay, well that's worth a lot of points. Then Alliance. Numbers getting pretty big. We have the Alliance First Fleet, which improved treatments of chemical burns are being implemented by Alliance doctors and medics. So that's something we picked up from a side quest. Alliance Third Fleet. Human forces fighting Cerberus took losses due in part to the shortage of engineers in the Alliance Third Fleet. Trying to remember what causes that. I think that's the new one that we're only just seeing. Or is it the SSV Nairobi? No, I remember we found the Nairobi from planet scanning. Yeah, what is it that causes this shortage of engineers? That may be difficult to avoid depending on some decisions that we made much earlier on. I don't think that one's as simple as just well, you supported this person rather than supporting this person, so you got penalized. I don't think that's the case here. I might be wrong about that. Anything new elsewhere? No, looks like Alliance is all set. Not seeing the new next to that anymore. Asari. We had some Asari support previously, but not a ton. We've now gotten Asari Second Fleet, an update to that. Shepard passed a Reaper code fragment to Asari High Command. An isolated copy will help predict Reaper movements, so a little bit of a boost to the Asari Second Fleet from that. That was another side quest. That's all for Asari updates. Crucible. Let's see. What is new here? The Advanced AI Relays, worth 45 points. Admiral Zen's research team salvaged advanced AI relays from the wreckage of the Geth Dreadnought flagship. Zen used the valuable technology to write a custom VI that oversees the energy output of the Crucible's fusion reactors and adjusts itself automatically. So this was the argument that Zen and Tali were having at the end of the mission in which we rescued Admiral Chorus. And although Tali had a much more noble argument that she was making, where she said, no, we should be making sure that we're using all our resources to try to rescue any Quarians that are currently in either, well, at the time were in critical condition. There was some question Zen was raising as to whether they would survive at all, where Zen said, no, we should focus on trying to raid whatever technology we can from the Geth Dreadnought that we destroyed, and as it turns out, the Geth Dreadnought had some important stuff on it, so we got a lot of war assets from that. And then there's the dissertation from our good friend, our dude who may be stalking us a little bit. But then the Geth. Now here's the thing: the reason why our war assets have gone through the roof is because I don't think we had any Geth war assets before. We have 510 now. Once feared across the galaxy, the synthetic Geth have allied with organic forces they once called enemies. Their fleets and armies won't stop until the Reapers are neutralized. Oh, we did have a tiny little group of Geth Primes. Geth Prime Platoon, which, I mean, to be fair, that's 60 points, but now we have the Geth Corps. Until recently, the Geth expected nothing but violence from organics and designed themselves accordingly. All Geth platforms are armed, shielded, and built to withstand combat. When they're on the battlefield, enemy tactics and positions are swapped instantaneously between the AIs. The Geth also employ turrets and drones expendable hardware support to keep losses of networked platforms to a minimum. The result is the largest and perhaps best equipped infantry in the galaxy. So yeah, it turns out it was a pretty big deal to get their support. Then the Geth fleet as well. Many Geth vessels are built to explore, mine, or provide transport between factories and space stations. But every Geth ship, regardless of purpose, is also capable of engaging hostile forces. Unbound by the Treaty of Ferrixon, the synthetic intelligence built almost as many dreadnoughts as the Turians. So that treaty was, I believe, one that made it so that the Turians were not allowed to build any additional dreadnoughts, otherwise they would have continued to do so. They have one of, if not the largest group of, they have the most dreadnoughts in the galaxy. And so that means they probably have the most powerful fleet. Technically, the Quarian fleet is bigger because they strap guns onto even their civilian ships, but at the end of the day, those are still unarmored civilian ships that happen to have guns on them, so they are not nearly as powerful as, say, a dreadnought, even if the dreadnoughts are not as... Even if the smaller... It's basically quantity over quality. You have the quality for the Turians with the dreadnoughts, and you have the quantity for the Quarians with all the little live ships with guns on them. And, I mean, they do have dreadnoughts as well, but it's mostly their big numbers that are significant there. But the thing is, the Geth were not limited by that treaty that prevented the Turians from building more dreadnoughts. They could just build as many dreadnoughts as they wanted. So the software running these ships is in the Geth themselves. Highly advanced electronic security measures and cyber warfare suites bolster already formidable firepower. Then we do have an update. Deleting the Geth heretics depleted Geth numbers, giving the Quarians an advantage when their flotilla began the assault on Rannoch. As a result, damage to the Quarian fleet was not as extreme as projections estimated. So the Quarians fared a little bit better than expected, potentially a lot better than expected, but of course in doing so, we probably weakened the Geth considerably. And then we have already seen the Geth platoon. And Turian updates here. The Turian 6th Fleet. Commander Shepard recovered a neurotoxin formula from a Cerberus lab, using it to make an antidote for a poisoned Turian general. So yes, we saved that general, got a few points out of that, but also got a huge amount of Quarian support. The Quarians are skilled engineers with one of the largest fleets in the galaxy. Each of their vessels has been repaired, restocked, and armed for confrontation with the Reapers. And we did get Chorus from the previous mission, and he was worth 25 points, but we have the Quarian civilian fleet. The civilian fleet makes up most of the Quarian flotilla. Properly coordinated, the fleet compensates for its lack of dedicated warships with its sheer numbers. This is what we were talking about, the whole quantity over quality in this case for the Quarians. Even its smallest crafts are equipped with ship-to-ship weaponry. The civilian live ships, enormous floating gardens that produce food for the Quarians, have also been fitted with massive Thanix cannons to provide heavy firepower. Now that's the big cannon that we put on the Normandy in Mass Effect 2 with all of our research. The thing that Garrus keeps on trying to calibrate, and succeeding, of course. Then the Quarian heavy fleet. Any pirates or mercenaries attempting to prey on the Quarian flotilla must contend with the heavy fleet's cruisers, frigates, fighters, and carriers. The heavy fleet is led by Admiral Han Garel, one of the admirals that we spoke to a fair bit in Mass Effect 2. He was the one who was making the case for just taking out the Geth here when we were in that discussion with Legion, with Tali. The Admiral firmly believes in the importance of ship maintenance and regular training exercises, and actively encourages those on pilgrimage to seek out technology that will upgrade his fleet's capabilities. As a result, cutting-edge technology is often found in the best of the heavy fleet's vessels. And we have an update here, several updates here as well. The patrol fleet sacrificed several of its ships to take the brunt of the Geth's attacks on the heavy fleet, buying the heavy fleet time to repair its frigates and launch a successful counterattack. And deleting the Geth heretics depleted Geth numbers, giving the Quarians an advantage when the flotilla began the assault on Rannoch. As a result, damage to the Quarian fleet was not as extensive as the projections estimated. So again, the Geth took a hit from destroying some of the Geth from Mass Effect 2 when we destroyed the heretics, not only because there are fewer Geth there in the immediate term, but also that meant that once the Quarians actually started fighting the Geth more completely, around Rannoch in the Perseus Vale, the Geth were not as numerous, and so they just didn't fare as well against the Quarians, so as they would have done if they were at full power, so it kind of was a double effect on the Geth for that reason. And the Quarian patrol fleet, which are the scouts flying ahead of the flotilla on the lookout for mineable bodies and hostile forces. They scan space with VI systems that pick up heat signatures or other signs of foreign vessels. You sure those aren't AI systems? Huh? Careful there, Quarians. As the first ships to be targeted in any conflict, some of the Quarians' finest engineers monitor and repair the patrol fleet's shielding. The fleet's commanding officer, Admiral Shalaran, relies on speed and shields during combat. So this is, of course, Admiral Ron, the person who has been the closest to us of all the Quarian admirals, other than Tali, of course, but the one who's sort of been Tali's biggest friend, the one who was sort of giving us a helping hand in Mass Effect 2 during Tali's loyalty mission, but didn't want to reveal some things to us just to increase the shock value when Tali said, "What? You're saying that you're accusing me of treason for helping the Geth?" Okay, so there is an update here as well. Depleting the Geth heretics depleted Geth numbers, giving the Quarians an advantage. So again, as a result, damage to the Quarian fleet was not as extensive as the projections estimated, so Geth hit harder, but Quarians not hit as hard, and that means that's in large part why that is such a huge number for the Quarian fleet. 800. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. So our numbers getting up. Wait, what is the final number we're at right now? 633. It's getting there. It's getting there. What is this? I totally did not even realize these people were here before. That's a pretty deep seat you got there. You get out of that thing. Okay, so I mean, Tali and Legion were, of course, here previously, but see, the thing is Legion's not coming back, I'm afraid. And Tali may have relocated, so I imagine we may have lots of things to talk about with our squad mates after that mission. So let's take a look around the ship and see what they have to say.
We just took down a Reaper without a giant thresher maw helping.
Damn right. We just showed the galaxy we can beat them.
Yeah, so of course we did take down a Reaper back on Tuchanka with the help of a humongous mother of all thresher maws. Thank you, Trainer. Anything else?
I hear you were on the ground with the Reaper. He fired up at us a few times. Joker pulled the Normandy through some insane maneuvers to stay out of the line of fire.
Well done, Joker.
In a fight like that, especially when you're not the one flying the ship. Joker's one of the best, though.
At first I was nauseous, swinging around in my safety harness. But then I was furious. Just enraged. I wanted that thing dead.
You didn't want the Reapers dead when they attacked Earth?
I wanted them defeated. I wanted Earth saved. But I never wanted to physically tear them in half and watch them blow up.
Oh.
Congratulations, Trainer. I believe you've discovered your fight-or-flight instinct.
Perhaps I should have stayed with chess. Although now I think I'm spoiled by the lack of explosions.
Okay.
Commander?
Alright, so we have some new emails here, but one thing worth noting. So that was, of course, one of the first times that we've defeated a Reaper, really the only time we defeated a Reaper on foot. Now, technically, it was with the support of some ships that were, I mean, basically the entire, or much of the Quarian fleet helping us out. Or was it mostly just the Normandy, actually? You know, it might have just been the Normandy, come to think of it. But we, at least, were on foot with that Reaper. Technically, though, that was, I believe, what is usually referred to as... Check our Reaper's terminology here. That was... not these guys.
The Reaper called...
on the secondary parts? It might be. No? Anyways, maybe it was there and I just glossed over it, but there are two really big kind of Reapers. There are destroyers, which is the kind that we just fought, which look kind of like, I don't know, like cuttlefish, and have, they all look like cuttlefish, the big ones. Has the laser beam, tried to shoot us with it and wipe us out, and totally never did that. We obviously took out the Reaper on our first try. But that is not the biggest kind of Reaper. That's the kind that we destroyed on Rannoch. It's the kind that we destroyed on Tuchanka. But the other Reapers, we had it here. It's definitely here somewhere. Really not here under Reapers?
The Reaper,
Harbinger?
a myth common to several cultures in the galaxy. Sovereign was the Reaper.
Hold on.
The Citadel
Here it
races
is.
have classified the known variants of Reapers into 4 types. Capital ships are Sovereign-class Reapers 2 kilometers in length. They typically target the dreadnoughts, defense installations, and industrial cities of organic civilizations. Experts believe the Reapers harvest a single species of organics during each cycle of extinction to create these massive ships. Some capital ships are capable of launching small drones equivalent to fighters. Destroyers are 160 meters long and, in astounding numbers, make up the bulk of the Reaper fleet. They engage cruisers and other smaller ships, as well as communications posts and enemy command centers. Research suggests destroyers are created from those species that are not harvested to make capital ships. Troop transports carry husks to unconquered planets and bring victims of the harvest to Reaper processing centers. They vary in length from 200 meters to 1 kilometer, but unlike capital ships and destroyers, do not appear to be self-aware. Instead, other Reapers operate troop transports remotely. Processors, also called slaughter ships, are mobile centers for mass DNA harvesting. Like troop transports, processors appear to be remotely operated by sapient Reapers.
Okay, so the biggest ones are the capital ships, like Sovereign. So of course, we took out Sovereign at the end of Mass Effect 1. That's the biggest, most powerful kind of Reaper. However, the Reaper that we just fought, and the type of Reaper that we also fought on Tuchanka, is our destroyers. So, while it is fantastic that we were able to take down a Reaper, unfortunately, they do get bigger and stronger than that. So we still have a long way to go, I'm afraid. And Trainer said we had some emails. We have several emails. I found work to do from Tali. Just wanted to let you know that I'm going to join Adams in engineering. It seems like the best place for me to help, as long as I'm coming with you anyway. Please drop by when you have a minute. Okay, we definitely want to talk to Tali after completing that mission. So, as I suspected, she's no longer in the war room. She's back down in engineering, where she's been for, well, Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2. Progress report from Admiral Ron. Boss Rannoch. Don't think that was her last name before. With assistance from the Geth, our fleet is nearly back to full strength. We focused most of our efforts on providing evacuation assistance and support for the Turian fleet, while the Geth harassed the Reapers. Even with our newfound peace, it seemed foolish to risk an incident by putting our forces in closer proximity. I understand from Admiral Zen that the Crucible project continues well, though Zen herself seems dissatisfied with the technological capabilities of the device. Sure about that, Zen? I know you're a tech expert, but that's the most advanced technology we ever seen. We don't even understand it yet, and you're saying it's not good enough for you? Though eccentric, she is also brilliant. Hopefully she will find some way to improve its functionality. I would never have believed you would talk Han down, Commander. Han Geralt, the one who was insisting upon us attacking the Geth. Take care of Tali for me. Keep us alive. Admiral Shalaran Vas Rannoch. Then, from Diana Allers, it may be hard to believe after what we just went through, but the rest of the galaxy is barely aware the Quarians ever went into the Veil, let alone started war with the Geth. We're sitting on a major piece of history here. Yeah, like we just made peace after a 300-year-long war. I have material from all the players except you. Can I get into your cabin for an hour and get your thoughts on Vid? So Diana Allers would like to speak to us about that. Perhaps we shall. There's definitely a lot of catching up we'd like to do, because I imagine our crew have a lot of thoughts on that mission. I have to imagine they do.
Gotta hand it to you, Commander. That's the first time I've seen someone end a war by yelling.
Yeah, I guess. I guess that makes sense, but at the end of the day, it just came down to, did we trust the Geth to keep their word, or did we think that we had to kill them because with additional technology, they were just going to turn right around and wipe out the Quarians, and who knows what else after that?
After seeing what the Geth Rebellion really looked like, I figured they deserved a chance.
Thank you, Commander. I doubt many organics would have trusted a synthetic race.
I really wish your eyes weren't red when you said that, Edie.
We didn't lose anybody.
Except Legion, before it sacrificed itself. Legion referred to itself as I instead of we.
Which I noted at the time.
So?
The singular pronoun indicates Legion's independent personality had fully actualized.
And that
In
was the
its last
significance.
moments, it was not an avatar of the Geth consensus. It was a person.
That's what I figured.
Well, when the Geth fleet helps us retake Earth, I guess we'll owe that to him.
So there you have it. Some thoughts? Some takeaways from Joker and Edie. Do they have anything else on that?
Commander?
What's on your mind, Edie?
I was just reflecting. The Quarians' historical era was not making the Geth enough like them.
I'm not sure I understand.
Units with networked intelligences will trend toward cooperation for mutual benefit. But units with central heuristics establishing an individual personality, such as myself, develop preferences. These preferences form attachments that keep my calculations from devaluing the worth of the lives aboard the Normandy.
You're saying the Geth turned on the Quarians because they aren't individuals?
That is my theory, but it is limited to a sample size of one society. The only other notable synthetic society is the Reapers, and we do not know if they govern by consensus as the Geth do.
Do me a favor. Don't ask them.
Yeah, maybe we don't try to converse with the Reapers.
Hello, Shepard.
Let's not ask them. Okay. Sure. So, that's the latest from Edie and Joker after finishing Rannoch. Let's see what others have to say. Let's go down to the crew deck. And... sure, I guess we'll start with Ashley.
Impressed you got those two groups together.
Yeah, I guess that's... you know, I think you might have a little more of a sophisticated take on it than that, but yeah, you're not wrong.
We'll see how long the peace lasts.
Okay, now that's... thanks. I appreciate your faith in us, Ashley.
Commander?
I appreciate all the belief you have in us and our efforts to assemble a squad. We'll see how long it lasts, he says. Anything else here?
Just reviewing some charts.
Okay.
Just reviewing some charts.
Oh, good oak then. No arguments between Javik and Edie over here? Not this time. Not this time. What about the latest from our friend, Garrus?
Peace between the Geth and Quarians.
Who would have thought?
Not how I ever imagined that would turn out. And next you'll be telling me the Krogan and Turians are cooperating.
They are.
Oh, right. You managed that one too. You're a peacemaker, Shepard. A rare thing these days. Now, if you can pacify the Reapers, we'll make you a saint.
Still working on that one.
Not sure if having an army of Geth behind us gives me confidence or makes me feel like there's a target on my back.
Yeah, a little bit disconcerting. Makes you a little bit uneasy. But we'd like to believe that they are here by our side for good.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too, Garrus. Hopefully, they are faithful allies.
Another Reaper gone, and peace between the Geth and Quarians. It's amazing.
And now my people have a world to fight for. Something they know will last forever.
So long as you and the Geth remain good neighbors.
They're not our servants anymore. I'm not sure what we should call them.
friends?
There's still too many wounds on either side. But maybe one day.
Maybe.
The migrant fleet and the Geth warships have joined Admiral Hackett.
Yes, indeed, and that is, as we were saying before, one of the key reasons why our war assets number is way higher now.
Good to see you again, Shepard.
Anything new at your terminal here? Yes. An email from Sergeant Kavanaugh to Sergeant Ichi. Next time, you want to warn me that the Geth are our friends, and that maybe we're not supposed to shoot the big robots? I almost pissed myself when these primes started dropping out of the sky and mopping up the Reapers. We fired a few rounds at them until we realized they weren't firing back. Then this one comes over and said they're Allied assistants and asks for our status. I'm not complaining that they saved my crew, but I'm never living down having to apologize to a Geth for shooting one of its darned lights off. Alright, anything else over here? No, not at the moment. Not at the moment. Greetings, Glyph, and by greetings, I mean, adios, salutations. Okay. What else? No one out here, I don't expect. No one in here, I don't expect. Let's head down, in that case. To engineering. Okay. And we're expecting for Tali to be down here now. What's the latest from Javik?
Another Reaper has died. You are proving that humans are capable soldiers.
Nice.
But I question this peace you have brokered. No such thing is possible between machines and organics.
Why am I not surprised that you say
this?
this?
The synthetics without hesitation. And these Quarians, let's just hope they are reliable allies. It is difficult to trust a species that hides behind masks.
That's a little uncalled for.
The only conflict you should concern yourself with is ending the one with the Reapers. Diplomacy does not win wars. Powerful and plentiful firearms do.
Well, now we have more allies, which means we have more firearms. So, by that means, through diplomacy, yes, we have assisted ourselves, made our lives, I hesitate to say a little bit easier, but made our prospects a little bit better against the Reapers.
How do you see with only two eyes? Evolution has taken a strange turn in this cycle. Do not care what others think. Do what you must. Do not care what others think.
Okay.
Do
That
what
appears to be all. With Javik. So, not so surprisingly, he has some doubts about the robustness of this alliance.
The Exodus cluster under heavy attack. Eden Prime and Terra Nova about to fall. Do we fight for them, or join the Solarians at the Horsehead Nebula? How many worlds can we afford to lose? The full analysis tonight in the battle space.
Okay.
Commander, I'm doing a segment on the Geth-Quarian War. It should take maybe an hour. Can we talk in your cabin?
Alright. Not here, apparently. In the cabin, she says.
Kenneth, you comment on every woman's figure but mine.
Well,
What? You don't like my legs?
Gabby, it's you. You know?
No chicken shit, I don't know. All you do is make stupid sexist comments to avoid saying anything real.
Gabby, now's not the time. We've got work to do. Responsibilities.
Ah, grow a pair, Ken. Look around you. Tomorrow may not come. Something to say or no?
Gabby, please. We have a duty to the ship and the crew.
What about us? Just listen to yourself. Kenneth, you comment on every woman's
And so, these two have been, well,
You don't like my legs?
bickering, may or may not, quipping back and forth between one another, dating as far back as Mass Effect 2, but there's always that question of, is there a little bit of a spark there? Is there something to it? More than just teasing each other? Maybe there are some feelings behind all that, but, you see, Donnelly did pretty darn consistently, yes, make
We have a duty to the ship
pretty
and the crew.
bad comments about pretty much any and every woman who came over here, including Edie, a robot. So, you know, Daniels does have a point here. You know?
It's you. You know?
No chicken shit, I don't know.
Does she belong in the friend zone? Or should Donnelly give her a chance?
Gabby, now's not
And I say,
we've got work to do.
maybe
Responsibilities.
it is time
Grow a pair, Ken.
to give her a
Look
chance.
around you. Tomorrow may not come. Something to say or no?
We're not fighting this war for ourselves, Donnelly. We're fighting for the people close to us. Time is short.
I see your point, Commander. Gabby, I think your legs are spectacular.
Well, that's a start.
I think your legs are spectacular. That's one way to put it. Alright, so maybe he was holding back all along. Maybe he just needed something to break through that wall and you know, get something started.
Commander.
All propulsion systems are running optimal.
Optimally, actually, Daniels, but okay.
Commander.
Alright, whoa! Tali's not here where she once was. Back in Mass Effect 2. She's now all the way in here. How goes it?
Can't be. No. I guess that's right.
Hey, Tali. How's it going?
Oh, sorry. I didn't hear you. I just got communication from the fleet. Sorry. From Rannoch. In the old days, I'd send any new technology I found back to the fleet. I should probably be doing that with the agriculture samples now. I don't know anything about raising crops.
How are your people doing?
It's crazy. The Geth are helping. Setting up housing, adapting power systems. They are doing in weeks what would have taken us years. Geth are even uploading into the suits of Quarian volunteers. They're rewriting environmental functions, jump-starting our immune systems.
Whoa! Whoa! The Geth are uploading themselves into the Quarian suits? How does that work?
That doesn't seem possible.
The Geth are software, not hardware. They can transfer themselves from a normal body into anything with enough processing power. They're mimicking infections, so the host can adapt without getting sick. It's like making a vaccine.
That's pretty impressive, especially considering that the weak immune system of the Quarians is one of the biggest barriers to them being able to actually settle down on a planet, even if that planet is the one that they originally came from.
So the Quarians won't have to wear those suits anymore?
It doesn't seem possible, but yes, in a few years, with Geth improvements, we won't need them. We might still wear them. The suits have become part of our society. But a rupture won't be a death sentence. Today, on Rannoch, there are Quarian children who will grow up healthy and strong, thanks to the Geth.
They owe that to you.
No. I'd have killed the Geth with no regrets. And I'd have been wrong. Thank you.
Anytime. Just let me know if you let a Geth upload itself in there.
No, the only person who gets inside my suit is you.
Oh.
Nothing stands between us now. Whatever the galaxy throws at us, I'll be at your side. By the way, I left something for you up in your cabin. Go have a look.
Oh? Okay. Anything else, Tali?
I can't believe my people are working with the Geth.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
The Geth are helping us rebuild. I never thought I'd see it.
Quarians on Rannoch with Geth cooperating with one another.
Our scientists and the Geth have done amazing work on the Crucible together.
Teaming up on the Crucible as well.
Hey, Shepard.
Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. Peace is possible even against what seemed to have been the staunchest of enemies. Okay, now let's head down to the shuttle bay. See what Hamas is up to over here.
I can't believe you got the Geth and Quarians to play nice. You should get a medal for that alone. It looks like we just need to get the Asari on board, and we can finally focus on the Reapers. But I don't suppose it'll be as easy as all that.
Nothing ever is.
One step at a time, I guess.
Yeah, the Asari, I mean, we do have some support for them, yes. But we haven't really, at least, had a committed effort to focus on going after specifically acquiring Asari support. We got some after we defended the Citadel, yes, but now with what appears to be potentially an impending threat on Thessia, might be a way to win them over a little bit more.
300 years it took to take back the Quarian homeworld. I sure as hell hope it doesn't take that long for us.
I mean, he has a good point.
I'm ready to see Earth again, Shepard.
We are too.
Do you hear that hum? Is that just me?
Okay, definitely heard that before. Oh! Cortez down here? I mean, there was a while where he was working on Kodiak. What's he working on? Is? Kodiak? Where is he? Cortez? Cortez? Are you still down here? James, do you see where Cortez went? Is he hiding? Somewhere? Is he playing hide and seek? James, did you play hide and seek with Cortez and you didn't actually come find him? He's just still out. No, he's right here.
Is everything okay, Shepard?
I guess so.
Everything is in order.
Alright. So, we also, for what it's worth, we do have a decent amount of money after finishing that mission. So if we had other weapons that we wanted to upgrade, like we had some that we had partially upgraded, namely the Crusader was one upgrade away from being fully upgraded. It's expansive. That might be worth doing. Then we were also talking about the Venom we were saying might potentially, oh no, the Claymore we were saying was also interesting for close range engagements. That was one that we were potentially going to have our shotgun users use, but we said the higher level on the Claymore would be our tiebreaker and we'd go with that. But, I mean, we might have enough to do both those things now. Let's at least fully upgrade the Claymore, or rather the Crusader, since we're just one upgrade away from that. Particle Rifle is another one we were saying might be interesting for us to fully upgrade, but let's at least hold off for now, because that last upgrade right there costs us a lot of monies. They do get increasingly expensive as time goes on. We have a few things at our captain's cabin, including that interview with Diana Allers, and Tali said she left us some kind of gift. So let's go up there. Okay, so why don't we invite Allers?
Trainer, can you send up Diana Allers? She wants to talk to me.
She's on her way, Commander.
I'm sure you've got a million questions.
I narrowed it down to 40. Let's see how you do with the top 10. Commander, the last time most of us heard about Geth, they were attacking the Citadel alongside Sovereign.
Yes, and you should know that was a minority of the Geth. Most of them are not hostile to organics.
Is that how you explain that they're allies, and no longer dangerous robots who stick humans on spikes?
That was an awfully leading question. They're misunderstood, and that statement right there certainly demonstrates that.
What you have to realize is that despite their reputation, most Geth are not inherently violent. The Quarians attacked them. The Geth fought back in self-defense just like any organic would. Now that we've freed the Geth from Reaper control, they'll want payback for their enslavement.
But you're going to take an army of synthetics to fight Reapers with untold hacking abilities. What's keeping the Reapers from reprogramming the Geth like they have before?
Yes, this is true, and in fact it happened recently, which may in part be why the Geth were fighting the Quarians on Rannoch to begin with, or maybe not to begin with, at least not as, by that I don't mean 300 years ago, I mean like as in a few days ago. But the Geth have now upgraded themselves with improved code. Let's not talk about where that code came from. Let's not spook everyone about that. But that hopefully means they are now more resistant to future interference of the Reapers. Because, yeah, you know, if the Reapers were to just turn right around and recontrol all the Geth, then we'd be in trouble.
The Geth are extremely intelligent, and they put incredible thought into solving this problem. They're not going to turn again. I bet my life on it.
Now here's a question from a Batarian on Omega. Commander Shepard, if the mass relays can be destroyed... So did I miss anything? Do you have any questions?
You gonna go file your story now?
Well, if you don't mind.
Go tell the galaxy what we've done. They could use some good news.
Aye aye, Commander.
Alright. Codex updated desperate measures. And Geth Core were asset updated. We already had the Geth Core in there, but perhaps by trying to paint the Geth in a brighter light, we might have made it so that people are more supportive of the Geth and may be able to work with them more effectively. So that was the interview with Diana. However, we still heard that Tali left some kind of present for us here. So, what might that be, you ask? Well, how about this? Tali without her mask. For the first time. The first and only time we have ever seen a maskless Quarian. What is perhaps, in truth, one of the biggest reveals in the entire Mass Effect series after spending the entirety of Mass Effect 1, the entirety of Mass Effect 2, and most of Mass Effect 3 engaging with Quarians but having no idea what they looked like under the mask, and nobody that we spoke to knew what they looked like under the mask other than the Quarians themselves. And so it's always that question that we were asking ourselves. And I think on occasion Mass Effect 1, I want to say Rex had a few times where he would pose that question in some creative ways, but there you have it. There you have it. Something that, dare I say, well, disappointed to say in many ways, for the longest time, I had deliberately gone through whatever means possible to make sure that I had never seen that image, so that I did not romance Tali in any of my previous playthroughs. So you only see this if you romance Tali. And for the longest time, I had gone through tremendous efforts to make sure that I did not accidentally see that image. So I as well was going in blind, had no idea what the Quarians looked like until, you know, people like put it on thumbnails in YouTube, and I was absolutely furious. Like, okay, you know, like here I am just scrolling through YouTube feed, and there's the very picture that I've been trying to do everything that I can to avoid while playing Mass Effect until I actually go through and experience it firsthand. So yes, unfortunately, I did get it spoiled after going a very long time, very nearly avoiding the spoiler, but alas, it did get spoiled. So close, yet so far. But there is an unmasked Tali, which technically speaking, Shepard has kissed Tali on at least one occasion in Mass Effect 2 when we had our little romance before going through the Omega 4 relay, the whole totally worth it part, where we personally didn't see, but Shepard did, because of some clever camera maneuvers, clever camera angles. So technically Shepard already knew, but we ourselves did not know until that. So it's oh man. Like I said, perhaps one of the best kept secrets in the entire Mass Effect trilogy. And with that, And I'm not sure if, like maybe we even check to see if Tali has anything to say now that we've seen it. Let's see. I'm not sure that she will, but I am curious to see if she has any response.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too, because of course there were all those times where, you know, you might be looking at the Quarians with their helmets and you go like, oh, I can sort of see their faces through that. I can kind of imagine it. Like, you can totally see her eyes, you can kind of see her nose, you can kind of see... Oh, that's a light. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, maybe those were her, like, that was her mouth, her upper lip, but not really, that's just the glare off her helmet. And so you're always wondering, like, oh, but what do they actually look like under that? And, well, you only really know until you see that picture. Until you see that picture. But no additional comments, no, like, hey, Tali, I got your present. Huh? No acknowledgement of that, but alas. I mean, she, of course, directed us to go up to the cabin to see it to begin with, so that, I suppose, was the idea behind that. Anything else, Trainer?
Commander?
Doesn't sound like it.